Alcatraz, the toughest and most infamous prison to date. It was so harsh that it was labeled inescapable. But on the night of June 11, 1962, all of that changed. You see, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers, John and Clarence, made a brilliant plan that's changed history forever. It's changed it so much that it remains the world's greatest unsolved mystery. But how did they escape? Let's find out. It all started in January of 1960, just over 2 years before the escape. This was the date that Frank Morris arrived onto Alcatraz. Just a few weeks later, Frank bumped into an old friend of his, Alan West. They knew each other from the previous prisons they were sent to. They agreed that escaping Alcatraz was their top priority during their life on the rock. They soon spoke to John and Clarence Anglin, who were in on the plan. In fact, they had an idea that would help them escape. Their plan was to make inflatable rafts and use it to get to San Francisco and hijack a car. But the plan was far from over. You see, Alan West knew about something that the others didn't. In Block B, there were pipes that led to the roof. The only problem was that they would need to be in Block B to access them. They requested to be moved to Block B and the wardens approved. They were given adjacent cells, which meant that they were able to communicate with each other. Now all they had to do was to get to the utility room. They stole drills and began digging man-sized holes in the walls during music hour. The guards never heard the drills because the music was too loud. But when they weren't digging their holes, they covered them with fake concrete. This eventually devastated Alan West, but we'll get to that later. 6 months later, the holes were completed. They crafted a raft using 50 raincoats. But they needed a way to make sure the guards didn't recognize their absence. This was done by making dummy heads and placing them in their beds. Now all they had to do was the impossible: escape. They took off the fake concrete walls and shimmied through their holes. Alan West, however, wasn't able to get through. This was because his fake wall was sealed to the real wall. He was left behind. Frank and the Anglins had no time to lose. They climbed the pipes and made it to the roof. When they got down, they ran around the building and stopped at the shore closest to San Francisco. They inflated their raft and were on their way. They were never heard from again.